gonna be you, it's gonna be me. 맘속에 있는 사랑, 그 사랑 보여줄 사람. It's gonna be you, it's gonna be me. 눈물 닦아줄 사람, 손 내밀어줄 사람, 너와 나.
How's everyone doing? And your coffees, your teas? You have lots of coffee, tea, and pastry? Okay. So, welcome to Desto's offline event. We're doing our world tour right now. This is our fourth event. We just came from Indonesia the last few weeks. Right? How's everyone doing today? Okay. Let me ask you a question. I don't know about you guys, but how many of you guys in this room know what is blockchain technology? Wow. Did you see the hands? Again, show of hands. Who knows blockchain technology? Okay. Yeah. So this means that you are not new to Bitcoin, yeah? But I'm sure there are also a few of us who are not so familiar with what blockchain is about.
Okay, so not all of us here actually understand what is blockchain or even crypto. And most of all, what is Desto? Why are we here today, this afternoon? Okay. So, which brings us to the highlight of this event. And I would like to introduce to you two good men here. We have Arthur, the Desto Community President.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And here's Samuel Law, our founder.
Hi.
And our tech guy is somewhere hiding in the back. Sunny Law, yeah.
Satoshi Nakamoto at the back there. Thank you.
Okay, so I think without much further ado, we shall start this event. I'll leave this in your good hands to tell us what this is all about.
Yes.
Well, thank you and enjoy.
First of all, thank you, Melbourne, for coming. I mean, who came here through Eventbrite? Yes. So these are the intruders. It's encouraging to see as well now the Melbourne and the interest in the different age groups here as well. Now we've got the young and the mature age. Okay, we all wanted to learn, okay, what Desto is about. And some of you have been invited gracefully by Chiefy Fan, I think Cameron as well. But again, I want to thank you for coming. I also want to thank Evelyn Woon. So Evelyn, who just opened up the meetings, she's our event coordinator manager, and she's been organising all events on the world tour. I think we lost count after 4. We've probably done a lot more than 4 meetings, haven't we? Yes. Just a little bit about myself. Right? I'm from the Netherlands. Okay, I live in Adelaide. I've known Samuel since 2012-13. We're involved in another fintech company we established in Southeast Asia, and that's become a robust company over time. Samuel introduced me, actually spoke about his dream, his ambition to set up another new company called a blockchain company late last year. And since then, it's been a roller coaster for the greater. Our concept, our company, the people we met, the companies we're collaborating with, all around the world, has become Desto Blockchain today. So today we're going to be introducing to you what Desto Blockchain is. Samuel will take you through, I suppose, our passion, our mandate, and follow through some of the statistics, what's happening in the marketplace there. I will introduce you to some of our solutions we're developing. No doubt we never have enough time to go through all the details. But please, afterwards, feel free to ask some questions as well, on the personal level or openly as well. Okay? So again, I want to thank you for coming, and I'd like to hand you to Samuel, who's going to introduce you to our video mandate. I'll press start for you, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah?
Yep.
That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever was, lived out their lives. The aggregate of our joy and suffering, thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines. Every hunter and forager, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilization, every king and peasant, every young couple in love, every mother and father, hopeful child, inventor and explorer, every teacher of morals, every corrupt politician, every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there, on a mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam. The Earth is a very small stage in a vast cosmic arena. We do not claim to solve all problems with blockchain, but we believe that through humbly meditating on the pale blue dot poem by an astrophysicist, we recognized that our tiny little existence leaves no room for prejudices, greed, and politics. We will explore all positive possibilities from a decentralized philosophy of blockchain technology to advance human beings to the next level of evolution.
Desto is about bringing technology for the benefit of every living person on Earth. And the next wave of industrial revolution, which we all know, you may know, the fourth industrial revolution. Anyone knows the fourth industrial revolution? What that is? You know? The fourth industrial revolution comes in through the internet, you're right, blockchain, artificial intelligence, robotics, nanotechnology, and a lot more innovation in technology. Now, today, I think we need the lights. I'll look. Thank you. This is good. Yeah.
There's live. Right?
It feels strange to speak in the dark, you know. But okay. Is this better? Should I stand in front? Yeah.
Okay, I think
this is good. Yeah. This is good. Okay. Now, I'm Samuel. I come from Malaysia. I grew up in a tiny town in this east coast of Malaysia called Terengganu. Anyone been to Redang Island? Anyone been to? Yeah, you've been Redang.
Gentleman in the back. Yeah.
It's a beautiful place. I know Australia is a beautiful land. In fact, this is my third time to Australia, and I must say that I'm very impressed with Australia. And you know, Australia is the only country where when I touched down, my sinus got well. Okay, you have very clean air, no haze, not much dust. Yeah, just lots of kangaroo, nice food, nice people, great culture. And Australia is a place where you embrace each other, everyone. No matter what skin color we are, no matter what culture you come from, everyone migrate here. Everyone share the same dream. To make this place a better, make this world a better place. Now, Desto is something like that. Okay? Let me share a few. Change. Speaking about where I come from, when I grew up, I like to walk to the library. Okay? Library is my next playground. It's like 20 minutes away from my home. And that was like 25 years ago, 30 years ago. I'm now 39 years old. Okay? So, basically, library. When's the last? I know you have beautiful libraries here, but not in my, not where I come from. But let me ask this question: when is the last time you've been to a library? 4 days ago. Good. Last week. Wow.
You find the libraries here.
Yeah.
It's become meeting spaces and workspaces as well. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs meet the libraries. I mean, here is an entrepreneurial space or innovation space. Yeah.
Yes. Well, anyway, where I come from, everyone uses a tablet. Everyone uses their smartphone. I think a lot of these bookshops are closing down because of smartphones, right? And by doing this project with Desto, it brings me to think of change. What has changed in my last 39 years of my life? So I go back into my life and see what would I do usually when I grew up. I would like to go to a library, I like to hold a book. I used to read a book a day. That's what, I'm very passionate about reading about astronomy, about the astrology, about life, about history. But we don't get that feeling anymore. When I get into working life, we sort of forgot about everything. Everything went so fast-paced, right? When nowadays, with the emergence of technology, things change so much. Now, brings me to the second question. This could be a tough one. When is the last time you have used a typewriter? Typewriter. Have anyone? I mean, everyone have seen a typewriter, right? Of course, yes. But the last time I've used a typewriter is, I think I was 12 years old. And ever since then, we'll be using laptops and computers, right? Those days, computer is this big, okay? Mobile phones is this big. This big. Remember, the battery charger is I think it's as big as that CPU. So, this is the changes which we are seeing today. And this is huge changes. Just a matter of 3 decades, right? 30 years. 30 years, is it a long time? No. Mobile phones, today, I think all of us are using really high-tech mobile phones, right? This is latest, and this is Huawei. And if we bring to mind the emergence of mobile phones becoming smaller and smaller, more and more powerful, and from what I read about, from what the data from NASA, that the power of this computer chip from here can send someone to the moon. Okay? Those days it requires supercomputers as big as this room, or this building, to send someone to the moon. Now, why is that so? Things have changed so fast, and mobile phones have gone through a revolution for the past 10 years. It's not a very, it's a very new technology. It's not a very old technology. Now, because of Moore's law, computing power will keep doubling every 3 months. That is a very powerful case for next revolution. Now, what is going to happen in the future is very scary to some, but can be enlightening for some. When I come to Australia, I keep seeing this word, let's fight extinction. Yeah? Because a lot of animals are going extinct. Okay? Have you ever thought of that this piece of paper is, I cannot show Australian dollar because I'm here, need to be politically correct. Okay, so I'm showing ringgit here. This piece of paper will go extinct. 10 years from now? I don't know. 20 years from now? Could be. Why? Today, let's challenge ourselves to think. What could go extinct in the future? We know that typewriter is going extinct. It's going to be in the museum. You know, nobody's going to use a typewriter. Okay? Mobile phones, in 20 years' time, it could be something else. We do not know. Technology is changing our life. This is where Desto is coming in to do. As we did the research into what is important, what blockchain could do to our life, we found this. There are 7.5 billion people living on Earth today. And it's heartbreaking to know that one third of the people does not have a bank account. And imagine this. Imagine yourself in their shoe without a bank account. You'll be using cash, right? Very likely you would be holding this cash, putting under your pillow or with yourself, right? I know my grandfather, about 50 years ago, Malaysia, when he first come from China, he doesn't have a bank account. He was holding cash, right? And what happened to them if cash goes extinct? How are they going to access to banks? How are they going to access to bank accounts? Have you ever thought of that? How inclusive is technology, this mobile technology, is to these people? Because it's a no-brainer. For the world economy to be better than today, we just need to include these 2.5 billion people. That's it. Bring them into the economy, connect them with the masses, with the system which we have, and grow the economy together. That's it. But they are not being included, right? Because of various reasons. Now today we are going to discuss how blockchain is going to bring these people connect with us, starting from Southeast Asia. We would love to help the whole world. We cannot do it alone. This is a very big market, the unbanked. We are not the first person to talk about this. We draw a lot of inspiration from those articles written by World Bank. I think you can find from World Bank website all the way to from the year 2010. And today, I just came back from a conference held by Bank Negara, Malaysia, who has included the World Bank as well, and United Nations, and several other remittance companies, have all come together to work to help connect these people without bank account. Now, can I ask a question? I assume that everyone in this room has a bank account. Anyone have more than one bank account? Can put up your hand? Wow. Can I assume that 99% of Australians have bank account? Can? Do you know how big is your economy in a year, your GDP? Is 1 trillion. Yeah, you have reached 1 trillion. It's very big. For a population 24 million, you have 1 trillion in GDP. It's huge. You know what is the GDP of Southeast Asia? Southeast Asia has 630 million people living in Southeast Asia. But Southeast Asia has a GDP of 2.5 trillion. Yes, it's 2.5 trillion US dollars a year. And out of these 630 million people, only 27% has a bank account. Can you imagine that? 73% of population in Southeast Asia does not have a bank account. Is this number shocking to you? It's very shocking, right? Now, Southeast Asia is just like 6 hours from Melbourne. The nearest would be where? Bali. His nearest flight, Bali, is it correct? Yeah. It is quite heartening to in Southeast Asia. Then, if you ask yourself this question, what happened if 438 million of people living in Southeast Asia will help to connect to the economy? And all of them are as connected as in Australia. What if 99.9% of people in Southeast Asia has a bank account? What's going to happen to the GDP number of Southeast Asia? 4 times, right? Southeast Asia economy would be 10 trillion US dollars or more. So this is the biggest opportunity which right in front of us, right next door to us here, where we can see and what we can do together. And Southeast Asia, for your information, this is what I've got from the Malaysian government, that the officials have told me, have informed me that by 2020, Southeast Asia will be one economy, like Europe. But it's not one currency, okay? It will be one economy under one economic policy. Now, this is where Southeast Asia is heading towards. Why? Because of financial inclusion. Because technology will end. Everyone in school will have a bank account. In there, we call it Bank Simpanan Nasional. Other than that, you can have a cooperative bank account. So you can have money with a cooperative. Like, I'm not sure if you have cooperative here, okay? But it's a Dutch system, right, bro? Yeah, Koperasi. Now in Malaysia, almost everyone has a bank account. So this is one number which I need you to understand. It's hard to understand, but I need you to know that there is such opportunity out there. And which is where we know that as Desto blockchain, we are the frontier of financial technology. We want to use our technology to benefit the people in Southeast Asia first, because it's the lowest hanging fruit. I come from Southeast Asia. All of us come from Southeast Asia, and except for our friend here. And we work together as a team. This is a huge opportunity for everyone to get involved in. The next 10 years will be exciting for Southeast Asia. Now, let me bring you to this number. Let's put the number of those who are not yet in the financial sector, who are not yet connected to finance, all right? This is the remittance market of the countries here, okay? None of it from Southeast Asia except for Philippines and Vietnam, right? In fact, Indonesia should be in here between China and Philippines. Okay, this number is not yet updated because, yes, we're going to show you those slides. Because Indonesia government has just implemented amnesty has given immunity for inviting a lot of Indonesians to bring back money to the country without having penalty. So right now they are in the process of doing that. But this is the market right now. $32 billion US, Philippines alone. In fact, Malaysia is over 10 billion. Money remittance just by foreign workers. Now, if you look into Philippines, Vietnam, Bangladesh, Pakistan, most of the workers goes out of the country, right? They work in Dubai, work in Kuala Lumpur, work in Singapore, Hong Kong, even in Australia, and work in many other countries in the world, right? Especially in like Middle East as well. So usually every month they will send money home. Now the question, why do I show you this number? Is because blockchain technology will be able to tap into this market to reduce the cost of transfer. Anyone transfer money from Western Union before? You tried Western Union? Where did you send to, Eric? Indonesia. What is your experience with you? How much does it cost? Yep. Correct. You're right. We experimented with my friend from Albania. Okay? He came to Kuala Lumpur. He asked his wife to send 300 euros through MoneyGram, Albania. Okay? When he received it in Kuala Lumpur, 3 days later, it is 270 euros equivalent. That is what's remittance market. These guys are creaming off the transaction fees. Transaction fees is usually between 4% to 6% because they have middlemen to pay. Okay? They are not inclusive of spread. Spread between the bid and the ask price of currency could be from 3% to 6%. So for some region like Vietnam, Vietnam Dong, even I think Philippine peso would have a better spread because of the volume. If you look into Bangladesh, Vietnam, Myanmar, they have very bad spread. Usually you're talking about 10 to 12%. Okay? Now, what is 10 to 12%? These guys are making 1,000 ringgit to 2,000 ringgit a month in our country. So 1,000 ringgit is equivalent to 300 Aussie dollar. I think 330 Aussie dollar. Now 330 Aussie dollar, and every month they send this money back to their home. Okay? Who does not have a bank account? So the way they send money is through remittance. Okay? Official and unofficial remittance. Well, what is 10% to them? Let me ask you a simple question. If your salary a month, what's the normal salary rate in Australia, Melbourne? Is it 6,000 Aussie? 60,000 a year. So Okay, so let's say it's let's imagine this way. If you have a 20,000 Aussie dollar salary a month, is that a lot? Okay, that's a lot, right? Imagine if you would need to send 20,000 Aussie dollar back to your family in Indonesia every month. And someone takes 4,000 away, no, sorry, 20,000, 2,000 away from you. And your family receive 18,000. Would you be happy? That's a lot of money, right? A more extreme example I gave in other talks is $100,000. Because why? Because to these guys who are unbanked, they are not educated. 1,000 ringgit, which is 330 Aussie dollar, is a lot of money. Seriously. It's equivalent to $100,000 a month kind of salary to them. And someone is going to take it from them just by 10% is too much. Because if we go to the bank today, as someone having a bank account, what is the normal transfer rate for you to send, say, anyone send money from the bank to Malaysia or any other countries? Anyone has this experience? To Europe. What was the charges like? Okay, it's a lot, right? And the banks will ask you a lot of questions. Yeah? And, well, and it takes 3 days? 2 days? Yeah, sometimes more. Correct. Now, this is a current financial system. It's outdated. I'm not here to stand here to challenge the bank. No. Who are we, right? But we are here to show to you that one day, what if we have a solution which you could send money easily, instantly, in 1 second. Okay? Not 3 days, not 2 days, not 1 day. In 1 second. Today we're going to show it to you how it's done. Now, what if we can reduce the cost of this remittance, all right, or the foreign workers by half? They can, instead of losing 2,000 Aussie, in that case, all right, to 1,000 Aussie. At least he has 1,000 more to use for his family. And if you go back to this experience of 1,000 ringgit, which is equivalent to 330 Aussie, right? Saving 5% is equivalent to 1 milk powder. 1 can of milk, one big can, you call it can, right? 1 can of milk powder, okay? The cheaper ones will be 2 cans of milk powder. And most of them have many children at home, right? So this is the market which we are looking at. And how do we reach them? Now, good news is that even though they are unbanked, they have a smartphone. Almost everyone in Indonesia and almost everyone in Cambodia and Vietnam has a phone. Believe it or not. They may buy the cheapest phone, a second-hand phone or somewhere. Somehow or other they know how to use Facebook. Alright? So, somehow or other they know how to use Line. Right? Because they call each other for free. Okay? Nobody uses mobile cards anymore. They use the internet, call each other for free. In rural areas, this is how it's like.
They share the phone.
Yes, yes. The elders in the village could share the phone. If someone needs to make a phone call, you call the elders. Sometimes in Indonesia, there are 66,000 villages. Unreported, I'm not sure how many. How many more. But the actual figure could be more. They assume to be more. Now, imagine everyone in these rural areas has a smartphone and knows how to use Facebook, WhatsApp, and perhaps Line, and communicate with each other. Don't you think that it's fair to say that if you put blockchain technology into each and every one of their phones, they will be able to receive money instantly? That's powerful. They have this in their hands. We just need to empower them. Right? Now, of course, it's easier said than done. A lot of regulatory hurdles to make, a lot of technology hurdles to make as well. Right? But we'll get there. Now, this is remittance in Indonesia. $58 billion US. Just 1 quarter. Okay? In fact, it was treated to be a $1 trillion US a year. Now, if you put $58 billion into perspective, take 1%. 1% is transaction fees. Okay? How much is the transaction fees from here? $500 million, right? 580 million. Transaction fees spent, if it is 1%. If it is 10%, is $5.8 billion US. The banks are making a lot of money. Yeah? Western Union, whatever you call that. They make a lot of money, and the way they make it is make it from spread. From spread is one thing where you can underreport it from the accounting standpoint. How do you prove your spread? Right? So, well, this is the real world. This is a big market. If Desto blockchain comes with a solution which reduces the cost of transfer by half, and Desto would charge 0.5% for each transfer. If this is our transaction volume, all right, let's say 10 years from now, 5 years from now, that will be $500 million in revenue. And we save the people $4.5 billion US. Isn't it better? We give it back to the people. This is in Kuala Lumpur. The remittance market, the money changing market in Malaysia itself is 130 billion ringgit. You divide by 3 will be 40 billion. You divide by 4 will be $35 billion US. Okay? And this is the reported numbers. In Malaysia, there are a lot of illegal immigrants. The legal immigrants are 2 million people. Sometimes it's reported up to 5, even at one point 10 million illegal in Malaysia. Okay? So basically, most of the illegal immigrant, it's not their choice. A lot of them, sad case, real case, people from Bangladesh, they have to sell their home just to come to Malaysia. You know? They were promised a job. By the time they reach Malaysia, there's no job. Okay? There are a lot of syndicates get paid 20,000 ringgit, 30,000 ringgit in the middle. These are the syndicates which bring in millions and millions and millions of illegal immigrants. And these guys, poor thing, they don't get a job. They sell everything back home. And then a lot of them take loans, which is impossible to pay. 10%, 20% kind of interest rates. Okay? So this is the case in Southeast Asia today. Now, I'm going to pass this information about blockchain to Arthur, and he's going to drive home the point how Desto blockchain, through our quadrant, through our companies and our technology, is going to help them. Okay?
Thank you, Samuel. Excellent. All right. Actually, I'll probably skip that slide because I'll cover that in a moment. But thank you again. You can see that we are living in times of change, and blockchain is allowing us to create change, to be part of the change. And Southeast Asia is our ambition, okay, to transform an industry, transform the remittance industry. What we're also recognizing, now globally, there are some challenges out there, even with the blockchain industry, even with the cryptocurrency industry. I mean, who's familiar with crypto? Who actually owns crypto coins? Yes. I won't ask how much it. So, how many hands with it? 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's about 50%. 50%. So what we're finding today is that we are transforming into another era. Blockchain technology is being utilized and implemented in different industries, as you can look at the slides here. Whether it be retail, whether it be financial institutions, whether it be law, whether it be governments. Estonia, who knows of Estonia? They run all the administration, the governmental departments, okay, on the blockchain. No, the political leaders that met in Estonia a few months ago to discover how can we run and administer, okay, the people of a country on blockchain technology. What we got to understand is that blockchain itself is just a word. Yes? Is there not one blockchain that serves one particular industry as a solution for all? And what we're experiencing now, so the blockchain technology itself is evolving and has been imparted in different industries. And this is where Desto blockchain becomes very powerful as well. I mean, here we see some of the companies, and this is just a showcase of people where blockchain is new, who are using blockchain technology. We're looking at the financial services. I think what's the percentage globally? Who knows the percentage globally who's looking at measuring blockchain technology? I know ANZ Bank is. Australian Stock Exchange is implemented as well. A&B? Okay, A&B Bank. So a lot of banks in Australia are looking at the technology, okay, to, I suppose, remove operational wastage. Yes? Here, Microsoft is teaching about it, SAP, IBM. So we're seeing a lot more companies, okay, using blockchain technology and educating the marketplace out there. And I know we've got some people here in the midst of us who are actually educating people as well from the Blockchain Centre Melbourne. We visited the Blockchain Centre Melbourne on Thursday when we arrived in Melbourne. It's encouraging to see a different generation of people, all ages. I think we've got a lady here. Yeah, Susan? Yes, from the Blockchain Centre in Melbourne as well, so thank you for coming. So we can see that a lot of people collaborating to help initiate change. Yes? And improve operations, but also provide solutions. So what we see in a younger generation of startup communities looks at great, how can we be of benefit in the marketplace? How can we be of value to the people? And when the first time I looked at blockchain, I suppose I was more introduced to it through Bitcoin. I bought some Bitcoin back in 2012. Carried through to 2013. The price I paid, I think, was about $145 per Bitcoin. And I ended up selling about $450. I experienced a $1,100 tip market. Who remembers that time? About $1,100. It was back in 2013. Then it dropped down again. Was it error? Yes, yes. I sold mine. But that was my first experience. And I never stopped looking at it. I kept following it. Okay, what's happening in the marketplace? And I traveled a lot through between Australia and Europe and worked with different companies and different people in different startup communities in Amsterdam. And you can see everyone's looking at blockchain and cryptocurrency, how can we create new economies? And the way I like to see it is the people economy. What we're experiencing is the internet's changing to a new form of trust. Okay, so the blockchain technology is a distributed trust. Okay, the way we transfer information today, the way we store information today. I heard a story about Kentucky Fried Chicken. Kentucky Fried Chicken is a big franchise. I mean, who's eating the Kentucky Fried Chicken? There was a given stage. I think it was in a magazine, I read it in one of the articles. They could not supply chicken to 900 franchisees. Demand was too great, too many outlets. Blockchain can prevent that. And the administer the logistics and demand supply can prevent that. So it becomes the truth of supply. Yes? So here we go, okay, CoinMarketCap. Who's heard of CoinMarketCap before? Who's used it as an indicator? CoinMarketCap a couple of days ago was about, I think, $400 billion. And these are represented by different coins. But each coin represents a piece of technology. Each coin, I mean, who own coins again? There's a few people here. Do you know what the technology stands for? What it represents? You do, Susan, I would say? Yes? What we're finding, a lot of people buying crypto, but they don't know what type of technology represents. They don't know what they're supporting. And this is what Desto blockchain is all about. It's about educating, but also being purposeful in the marketplace. So currently we're seeing about a $400 billion market. So what we've discovered here, three major problems. The crypto usability. Back to the previous slide, there are over 1,400 crypto coins out in the marketplace, and they all represent something. Yes? But what we're providing today are solutions to make an everyday lifestyle on your mobile phone. As we serve the unbanked, we need the bank to assist us in the marketplace, and to enrich and start this new economy here. So the first one is crypto usability. What we're experiencing here is slow transactions. We talked about the remittance industry. It may take 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, sometimes even longer. We may pay 3%, 5%, 7%, 10% transaction fees. I think the global average by World Bank is 7.1% in transaction fees. Who's trying to transfer Bitcoin or Ether or bought anything? How long will it take you, Susan? To settle the... Yes. It may vary on the amount as well. Yes. So what we see, it varies from 10 minutes to half an hour to a couple hours, some even 24 hours. So it's depending on how many transactions are taking place. So we provide a solution for that. 2.5 billion people unbanked. I won't bore you about that, but that's one of the big mandates, and Samuel covered that pretty well. Thirdly, as we're saying, we want to make crypto an everyday lifestyle for mergers, for business people, for social enterprise. Because as we unite the unbanked with the banked, we need to help them and support them in enterprising as well. The goods and services from village to village. If you look at Indonesia, 66,000 villages or islands, 66,000 villages, eh? How can we help them interact with one another and communicate? This is where we're providing solutions for. You may have to turn off. Birth certificate. Yes. I shared a little video from the World Forum, okay? It's a link in our chat group as well to the public. And they're using the iris scan for refugees that don't have birth certificates, that don't have the passports. How do you identify a person? So using the iris scan, because the eyes are only pupil that cannot be changed. You can change the thumb, the fingerprint of a thumb, yes? But iris scan, they use that as to identify a particular person. So it's interesting you say that. So yes, now we can progressively grow towards it and then provide a solution for them. So here we go, here are the solutions. Desto's full stack quadrant. So one supports the other. So the first one we're launching, our first application is Desto Pay. Desto Pay at the bottom there is to facilitate and support the peer-to-peer market. Is to facilitate the transaction from A to B. So there might be a foreign worker in Malaysia who's sending back money to someone in Indonesia or Pakistan. We can facilitate that within 1 second. And that's not me sharing that with you, but we'll show you a live transaction in a moment. Who's got Desto Pay already on Android phone today? Who's got Desto Pay? Who's downloaded it? iOS is coming out any day. I'm waiting for Sunny, our engineer. It's coming any day? Yes. So Desto Pay is about crypto to fiat. So we'll be facilitating, as we require licensing, as we work with regulators in different regions in the world, be able to turn crypto into fiat. Or crypto to crypto. Yes? Or fiat to fiat. But like any company, any region, you've got to align yourself with the right regulatory environment. And that's what we're doing step by step as we progress. The second one is Desto CX, a crypto exchange on a regular basis. Yeah. Okay, I see a few hands going up here. Now, some people might be familiar with the share market or with the forex market. The same thing is happening in the crypto market. People are buying and selling. What we see here are a challenge in its own right, because people don't understand the true value of the technology I shared before. One of the key things what we look at Desto Crypto Exchange is to host the blue chip companies. I think Australians are familiar with blue chip. We're looking at ICOs who are looking to be exposed in the marketplace and to our growing community around Southeast Asia and the world to position themselves with a trade exchange of quality. So no spread and 0.5% transaction fee. Yes? Thirdly, Desto Ventures. Desto Ventures allows entrepreneurs, governments, enterprises to look at that underlying technology and to potentially implement that and be supported with the further development and improvement of operations, or even startups. Already, we signed, can I make this public news, about a satellite agreement? Yes? We can. Great. The challenge that we found is going back to the unbanked. This relates to Desto Ventures, is to reach the unbanked. We need to have mobile communications. We need to be able to communicate to the people. We need to be able to offer them our applications on the mobile phone. All the internet's available, it's not available to all the regions around the world yet. That's still a big challenge. There's a company that's called Asian Communications Network, or Asian Satellite Network, that's being developed right now, and they're launching out the satellites for communication from 2021 and 2023 to reach all the people throughout Southeast Asia, including unbanked. We signed a partnership agreement, and they're also exploring and using our Desto blockchain foundational technology to help them operate and reach that. Okay? So this is a big recognition and compliment as well for Desto blockchain to be able to achieve that. So that's one of our partnerships we've already initiated. Already communicating with different operators as well, for people in the real estate industry, people in different governmental departments as well, helping to brief the operations there as well. Desto Reserve. Desto Reserve is crypto mining or RCO diversification. As we align ourselves with different partners in the marketplace, our growing community will have the benefit of recipient of the growing value as well as we launch as companies and they work with us. So here is actually a couple showcases how the flow would go. I mean, who's read our light paper from our website? Who's downloaded that? No? There's one there, okay, here's a t-shirt. What I'll actually probably do is I'll show you a video which actually covers how the transaction will take place. So basically, like I'm saying, our product's application is available for everyday use. You'll be able to use it with merchants. You'll be able to, the merchants will be able to use it and accept crypto and instantly, or within 24 hours, turn it into fiat if they like, or hold on to the crypto. So what I'll do is play this video here. I'll just use the mouse here, Mark. Yeah?
For most of us, going to a local bank to deposit a check, paying in a store with a debit card, or withdrawing cash at an ATM is second nature. But for every third person in the world, it's not. Over 2.5 billion people in low and mid-income countries are currently unbanked. That is, have no access to normal financial services. Being cut off from the international capital, these people have no opportunity to save or transfer money securely and are basically trapped paying extravagant fees to informal banking services and other intermediaries. But what if there is a solution that can help get the 1/3 of our society into the financial fold and is decentralized, peer-to-peer, fast and easy to use, transparent, and accessible to everyone, even in the most remote areas of the globe, via a mobile device? Introducing Desto, the blockchain-based financial ecosystem providing online financial services to people across the globe. Desto provides an efficient peer-to-peer payment gateway that is fast and smart at the same time. Desto Pay, together with Desto CX, enable making payments and exchange in both fiat and cryptocurrency securely, easily, and super fast. Desto Pay connects merchants with users interactively and provides an effective price stabilizing mechanism. Desto Pay also benefits foreign workers working hard to send money to their families back home from abroad. Blockchain the future, today.
6-7 people now.
Yeah.
It does an awesome job. Some of you people may have experienced our community or Telegram community. Outside of a Telegram community, we've got a separate support channel as well for people to register through Desto, and we offer something 24/7 support there. That's my face, mate. Yeah. I'm still contemplating whether to go on bed or not. I mean, okay. So Ilona has got the link. You just share the link again. Ilona, can you hear me, Ilona?
Yes, hello Arthur.
All right. Ilona, you speak with English. Welcome to Ilona in Ukraine.
It's an early morning in Ukraine. Ukraine is just waking up.
Great, great. So today, Ilona is going to share with us. Okay, so can we send you or receiving DO? Mark?
We will send the DO to Ilona.
We send the DO to Ilona. Okay. Sorry, DO coin. That's our coin. Just for the people. All right.
Yeah, I'm actually ready. I opened my wallet.
So you open your wallet as well. So it's a bit hard to read. I mean, you can come a bit closer. Everyone, if you write down diawallet.com, everyone can download the diawallet.com. The